When children ask that question, they say, Mommy, Daddy, the sun, the planets, everything is round in space. Why not square? Why not triangular? Well, it turns out that for small objects like asteroids, they're not round at all. And so why is that? It has to do with gravity. And as we teach our students, when we teach them astronomy, we learn that, quote, gravity sucks. That's how we teach about gravity. Gravity is attractive. But you see, gravity attracts evenly. And so if you have rock at a certain distance, the force of gravity is the same at that distance. That's why when rock coalesces to form asteroids and then form larger objects like planets, they become round because gravity begins to crush the rock spherically, symmetrically. Now, when these rocks are very small in size, there's not enough gravity to make it round, so you get an asteroid. Asteroid looks like potatoes. We've photographed many asteroids now. They all look like potatoes because gravity is not strong enough to reform them in spherical shape. Now, you realize that once upon a time, the Earth was not round. About 4.1 billion years ago, an object about the size of Mars plowed into the Earth, blew out the moon. This is where the moon comes from. All the evidence points to the fact that the moon was blown out of the Earth around 4.1 billion years ago. And what did the Earth look like? The Earth looked like Pac-Man. There was a gigantic chunk of the Earth which is blown into outer space, and both fragments coalesced into spheres. That's why the moon is round, and that's why the Earth is round. So starting with Pac-Man, gravity attracts. And because gravity attracts evenly, then the gouge left by this asteroid began to fill up slowly. Cave-ins took place as more and more rock collapsed to fill in the gap created by the blowing out of the moon. And so even when something is not round, if it's big enough, it'll become round because of gravity. And so we have gravity as being one of the great forces of the universe. That's why, by the way, the rings of Saturn exist. An object that gets too close to the gravity of Saturn does the opposite. Gravity rips the moon apart. And when a moon got too close to Saturn, Saturn's gravity was so large that it literally ripped the planet apart. And that's why Saturn has rings.